And the first one we wanted to kind of start with is the 20s, because the 20s gets me so excited because pretty much every little bit you give, it only takes a little bit of today to get a really incredible, great, big, beautiful tomorrow. That's what I love about it. Is you might not feel like you have a lot of money laying around, but that's okay because time is going to do the heavy lifting for you. But here's what we found. If you wanted to, and we have a great resource for you. If you'll go to moneyguy.com/resources, we have a wealth multiplier for young savers that will show you what you need to save per month to reach $1 million and $2 million. I think that's important. Look, we're about to show you on the plush side of life what you need to be saving to keep up with inflation. But I still, for anybody who's starting out, you can get to $2 million of assets. For a 20-year-old, you only need to save $191 a month. For a 25-year-old, $368 a month. For a 29-year-old, $600 a month. Those are still very doable goals, and $2 million is a lot of money, but we did want to go, just like in a Money Guy fashion, the extra step and say, yes, but with inflation, what do you need to do to keep that purchasing power?
That's exactly right, Brian, because a 20-year-old out there listening is saying, okay, $2.2 million today provides a rich, a wealthy, a very nice lifestyle, but I understand the time value of money. In the future, I might not, $2 million might not be enough for me to do that. So we wanted to figure out how much would you need to save so that when you got to retirement, when you got to age 65, the portfolio you built would provide the same purchasing power as $2.2 million today. And this is what we found. For a 20-year-old to save to age 65, to have the same purchasing power as $2.2 million today, you need to be saving about $800 a month. For a 25-year-old, that'd be about $1,300 a month. And for a 29-year-old, it's a little over $1,900 a month. Now, here are the assumptions we use. We assumed a 20-year-old can earn on average 10% per year. And then every year, we decrease it by 0.1. So at 21, it's 9.9, then 9.8, 9.7. And then we just assumed a 3% annual inflation rate to bring the dollars back to present value. So if your goal, if you're 20 years old, okay, 2.2 is rich, I want that when I get to retirement, when I get to 65, what do I need to be saving to be able to maintain that purchasing power? These are your numbers.
Yeah, and then, like I said, as a refresher, 183% of what the typical median household. So this is a pretty, if you're talking about fat living in retirement, this is pretty good. Definitely financial mutant territory. And just to ground the number, I like people because we're math nerds. We love it too. You know, for a 25-year-old, if you want to know what the equivalent of $2.2 million will be at retirement, it's actually a little over $7 million. So these are not small sums of money, but I think it's to be intellectually clear and transparent. This is the way it works if you want to keep up with inflation.
And so the question you're probably asking, I'm 20, and Brian, I think you even said this too. This is hard. In your 20s, it's hard to save at these levels, and we recognize that. And so the question you ask is, okay, well, how do I do it? What are some things I can think about? What are some ways I can attack this? Well, the very first one, especially if you're early on in your wealth building journey, is don't miss the easy opportunities. Don't miss the things that are the dumb moments that you should be taking advantage of. One of the ones that we always like to talk about, Brian, that we get so excited about is getting the employer match.
Yeah, because this is one of those things where small decisions today can have huge, big results down the road. And that free money, because it's really a doubling of your money. Whether your employer, if they offer you 50 cents on the dollar for your contributions, that's at least a guaranteed 50% rate of return. But a lot of employers, on some portion of your compensation, it's going to be dollar for dollar, and that's 100% guaranteed rate of return. Don't miss out on that incredible opportunity, because unfortunately, there is about 34% of the public that is not maximizing that free money opportunity.
34% of the public does not like free money. 34% of the public is squandering the opportunity. So if you are someone in that situation right now and you have an employer match at work and you're not fully capitalizing on getting the whole thing, I would try to do every single thing in your power to be able to do that so that you can capitalize that. The other thing that you have to do, and maybe this is the way that you find your ability to go get that free money, is you have to look for the easy ways to find money. You have to figure out, okay, are there things going on or are there things in my life that I could adjust in terms of the accounts that I hold or the money that I spend that might create some dollars for me? We actually have a show out called 3 Easy Ways to Find Money coming out on July 14th that you should be able to go listen to and say, okay, I can find, maybe I'm only able to save $100, $200, $300, but man, if I can find a few extra dollars and I can start saving that at 20, 25, 29, those dollars will add up substantially over my working career.
I do. Before we close out the 20s, I do want to talk to my aspirational 20-somethings because you find this content, you're excited about starting to build for tomorrow. Don't let these numbers overwhelm you in the beginning because I got to tell you, I think for in your 20s, if you can just do anything, I don't care if it's $50 a month, if it's $100 a month, just let your money start working for you. Start building that army of dollars because I think you'll find you just start the process, but then you'll start hitting your stride in your career. Yep. You'll get pay raises. You'll have other things that come. So just be aspirational. Try to get to the 20-25% by the close of the decade so that you can go ahead and have your financial journey set and you can actually start building upon itself.